Hello, beloveds. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. So, the last video we did, Your Career is Your Business, part 1. And I promised a part 2, but actually we're going to have 3 parts. So there is a lot of stuff in there. I went back to my the workshop I had taught, that session, and found more stuff in there. I was like, ooh, this is going to need to be 3 parts instead of 2. So here's part 2. Your career is your business. And the gist of this is looking at your career as a business, looking at the ways that when people create their own businesses or big corporations, whether you're large or small, how we can align some of those lessons learned and the techniques to our own one-on-one individual career, okay? So for example, when people go into business, whether you're a large corporation or whether you're small, it's gonna be risky, okay? There's risks involved. There's no guarantee that you put all this money and time and effort into starting a business that it's gonna work out, that you're gonna get your money back. And so when we go into business, there's risks involved. And so if we look at our career and we keep that in mind and we say, well, there's risks involved with our career. What might we do to mitigate them? And that's the thing. People who get into business, they don't just say, okay, I'm going to open my doors, but they consider the risks. What if the products they offer, people may not like it? You know, how can they make sure that their pricing is right? So they're not going to price themselves out of the market or whatever. They do research, they think about it, and they do whatever they can to mitigate the potential issues that they may encounter. And that's the same thing you can do with your career. So for example, if you're not sure if a certain career field is for you, you can do an internship, you can do some volunteering to mitigate that risk of spending your time and money to pursue education or something that you may not even decide you enjoy once you get into it. So mitigating those risks. Also, let's say that you're worried that the salary that's going to be offered isn't going to meet your needs. So how can you mitigate that risk? You can work on your negotiation skills for your salary, make sure your resume and everything is on point, and be ready to say, this is why I believe I should get this salary, and why I'm worth it, and all of that. So you can prepare yourself for salary negotiation. Also, if you're not sure if salary negotiation is even on the table, just knowing what the salary band is before you apply can help you to mitigate the risk of spending all this time and energy into applying for a job only to find out like it's way below what you would accept and you just totally wasted your time. So that's a risk that we take in our careers. So how can you mitigate that risk? One thing you can do is, if the job doesn't say what the salary range is, you don't apply. You don't apply. Or you can contact them and say, hey, you know, I'm very interested in this position, blah, 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 blah. Can you tell me what the range is? You know, and in some states, it's illegal not to put the salary range. It's illegal now because they've seen just how backwards that is and how it doesn't help the people. It only helps the employer. And that is just not really ethical, you know? But what an employer is counting on, those who don't put their salary ranges in the job descriptions, what they're counting on is they want you to spend all that time and effort and energy in the application process. They want you to spend all that time so that finally when you get to know what the salary is, even if it's low, you're going to be like, well, I just spent like a month applying to this thing, interviewing and all this stuff. And so, you know, okay, whatever, I'm going to take it. You know, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to let them get over on you, okay? So know what the salary range is. If they can't even tell you the range or anything, then you have to think really hard. Like, you know, are you even going to waste your time to apply? Because what if you get to the other end and it's just way below anything you would accept? Okay, and you know what, if their salary is so competitive, why can't they tell you what it is? You know, I saw a meme on social media somewhere that said that, and it's totally true. So mitigate the risks of wasting your time with a salary that's not going to work for you by just asking up front. And if they give you the runaround, you know, keep asking. And if they still give you the runaround, then just, you know, you can research online and see what you can find. But you may want to just say, you know what, if they're going to be all secretive about that, you know, they may not be the best place for me. So, you know, keeping that in mind. So there's risks that we take when we're in the job search process. And this is one of the ways to mitigate them. Another risk, if you're worried about if you're gonna get to the interview on time or find the place, do a test run before you go. Nowadays, interviews tend to be on Zoom, but if it's in person, obviously do a test run. And another thing, businesses, there's a lot of risk again. And they will have like 6 months, a year emergency fund, because if things don't work out, they want to make sure they have some cushion. So in your own career, you want to make sure you have some cushion. Don't burn your bridges. You never know when you may need to go back to another job, or you need that reference or whatnot. So don't burn your bridges. Another thing, and this is, when we're talking about mitigating risks, this is one I have seen a lot, okay? I'm about to give you a little gem of wisdom here, okay? I have worked with a number of people who, they've gotten really, not so great performance reviews, okay? They're on a PIP, which is a performance improvement plan, or they're about to get on a PIP, or whatever the case is, their performance review, it's not successful, or it's about to not be successful. They're getting in trouble a lot. And you know what? We're not even going to talk about whether it's their fault or not, because sometimes there's biases in the workplace. Sometimes really someone just, it's not that they can't do the work. It may not be energizing to them. It just may not be a good fit for a variety of reasons. It's not like they're deliberately not trying to do well. But anyway, what I've seen people in this case is they many times put their head in the sand. Okay, I'm just going to work harder. I'm going to try to enjoy this job that I really don't like. I'm going to try to get to work on time. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that. And you know what? By trying harder, many times it doesn't work. Your commute is still long. You still have a lot of stuff to do before you get to work. You're not gonna, force yourself to like the job. Just be realistic with yourself. I've seen too many people try to just hope things get better. But let me tell you, maybe 8 times out of 10, if you're on a PIP, if you're, having performance issues and your job is looking like they're creating documentation to get rid of you, it's time to start looking for another job, okay? Just take that time and start looking for another job. I have seen so many times where, people keep trying and trying, but eventually they get let go anyway. And then it's worse to have on your resume that you were let go or terminated for bad performance or whatever, versus you quitting on your own behalf. So it's always better to leave on your own accord. Don't wait for them to ask you to resign. Don't wait for them to fire you. If things really don't look like they're working out, they have to create documentation. Most of the time, they just can't fire you like right away. They usually have some policy around a process, around progressive discipline for performance. So anyway, mitigate the risk of being fired, mitigate the risk of being asked to resign and having it on your record. Instead, just begin to look for somewhere else that will be a better fit for you, okay? Many times people just want to put their head under the sand and just hope and pray things get better. You have to take initiative and just get out of that situation. That's probably going to work best for you. And then, I'm going to share with you, these are 3 points, okay? That was the first point. The second point in terms of, your career is your business is having a personal mission statement. So small businesses, large businesses, they will have a mission statement. And many of them will also have a vision statement, which we'll get into. So for the mission statement, the second point I wanted to make is they're just outstanding to have as an individual. You don't have to be a business to have a mission statement. Many years ago, I took a class called a Franklin Covey class, and as a part of that class, we created our own personal mission statements, and it was just so helpful. A mission statement can help you determine, like, how do you define success? Because what success is for me may be different for you. Maybe success for someone is, making $100,000 and having time off and whatever. For someone else, it could be $500,000 and freedom to like travel where they want or whatever. Success is going to look different for different people. So a personal mission statement can help you, to think about, what does success look like for me? What are my values? Okay, so you want to think about, what are your values? Because your values can be used to guide your decisions. It can be used to help you manage conflict. Based on your values, how do you approach conflict? How do you make decisions about how to address conflict? And based on your values, how do you prioritize? And mission statements, personal mission statements, are really good to help you stay aligned to what your goals are, so you don't get off track. Because when you know your values, when it comes time to make decisions and things, you can look at your values and say, okay, this decision here will keep me more in line with my values. Okay. And let me tell you, when I took that class, there was this online personal mission statement builder, and it still exists, and it's for free. I'm telling you, definitely go check it out. If you Google Franklin Covey mission statement builder, okay, you will find it, and it's for free. It asks you some really great questions, really deep, interesting questions, and then you answer them in the little builder, and then it emails you back your results, and so you will always have it. And I look back to mine, and it's just very helpful. So have a personal mission statement. It's very helpful for you in your career. It can help you also as you look at what your branding is as an individual and your social media and things like that. And just having that personal mission statement can really help to get to the core of what your purpose is, what your calling is, and who you are as a person and what's important to you. So have a personal mission statement. Just like businesses have mission statements and corporations have mission statements, you can have one too and use it to help guide you. Now, with the mission statement, there's also, mission statement is more like in the present, and a vision is more looking at the future. What do we envision? What is the end goal? What is, what would things look like in the future? So have a vision as an individual as well. And I would say the thing about a vision is, don't be so busy with the day-to-day that you can't see outside of your box. Don't be so busy that you can't pay attention to what the long-term goals are. So the vision statement that you can create for yourself helps you to look beyond your current situation, because that's what really gets people stuck. Is they're so stuck on the current situation, that they can't plan, or it prevents them from thinking about the future, which can help them to get out of where they are, and which can help motivate them to move forward. So, think beyond your situation and open yourself up to your long-term vision, and most importantly, make yourself available to opportunities. We set ourselves up with a great resume, cover letter, and, we're out and about, and then, things are happening. We have a great social media profile, and then opportunities come our way, and we're like, no, I don't feel like changing, or I don't, whatever. So just be sure that, when you set things in motion and then things start happening for you, that you're open to the opportunities that the universe is putting in front of you. Of course, you don't have to say yes to everything, but just be open to the possibility of certain things, because it could be your calling coming and saying, here's an opportunity. Just don't be closed off to it. I encourage you to be open. Deeply consider opportunities that come your way as you begin to follow all of these steps, because opportunities will come your way. So when we think about our vision, just as a company would have a vision, we have our own vision. Your vision, it's asking that question: what is the strategic plan for your career? What is your strategic plan for your career? Many organizations will adjust their vision every, maybe 5 years, sometimes more, sometimes even 3. So, reevaluate that long-term goal for yourself, and just it'll help you to stay on track with things. Okay? All right, so those were 3 points. All right, we talked about taking action to mitigate your fears so that you can feel more secure. Mitigate the potential risks that come with just having a career and being in the workplace. And then consider a personal mission statement, and go to the Franklin Covey website. Google Franklin Covey mission statement builder, and you can create your own mission statement. It's very, very cool. And then we talked about vision. Okay, what's your strategic plan for your career? All right, and so this is part 2 of Your Career is Your Business, and we're going to do part 3 later. And there are 3 additional and 3 final points that I want to share with you about that. All right, hope this was helpful for you. Take care. Leave your comments in the chat. Let me know if this was helpful. Any questions you have, I'm so happy to answer them. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.